Hey everyone, TJ here with a new video. This time we're talking about Street Fighter 6 as usual. Not much more Diablo news as far as keeping people up to date, because I just don't have the time to record all the news updates and blogs for all that game, because there's been a lot of info. Long story short, Diablo looks really, really amazing. But for Street Fighter specifically, I'm concerned. This whole idea of 3 different control schemes for classic, dynamic, and modern. Dynamic is primarily for offline versus and like story or training, stuff like that. Like, it's really, really simple. But modern is my problem, right? So I'm not a huge Street Fighter guy, right? We know this, but I'm dabbling here and there with 5 and just looking at characters' moves and move lists and whatever. And for modern controls in 6, what it lets you do is essentially bypass movement directions. So like quarter circle forward, half circle, 360 for Zangief. Like, it bypasses all that in favor of a light, heavy, and medium button, like just raw buttons, and like dedicated buttons to like parry and drive. But like, what it does is it simplifies the controls and timings to the point where the game will automatically, without any character input, do the best max damage punish. It'll auto hit confirm itself. Scorpion. Right, so like, I don't know, we'll use Jason for Predator Shinnok. We'll use Predator. Predator is a decent example right here, right? So Sub-Zero. Let's pretend that stand 2 here is a medium punch, which I think it is a medium punch anyway in Street Fighter. But let's say, like, if I do this, on hit, it would finish the string, and I would, keep doing whatever. Like, it would automatically do all this for me. So that way, like, if it's hit, then combo. If it's blocked, stops. Well, I think for this this is safe right here. That's safe. So that's actually a confirm. But my problem with that is that it takes away player agency to the point where you don't have to learn punish timings. You don't have to learn your combos. All you gotta do is just react to jumps and whiff punishing with your frame 1 DPs and frame 1, like, whatever range options you got, and just mash, pretty much. Now, of course, there are trade-offs, right? You do 20% less damage on supers, and I think specials are tied into that. So overall, less damage. But I mean, less damage for little to no less execution. Not that big of a trade-off. The biggest trade-off, in my opinion, is probably the idea that you are losing a good chunk of normals. But here's the problem: it's not equal among characters, and this is the problem MK11 had. MK11 had the correction blows, and they were not distributed among characters evenly, which makes sense. Like, those characters have, they have their pros and cons, but like, for modern fighting scheme in 6, it's like someone like Luke doesn't really lose all that much, but someone like Ryu, like, he loses so many normals, it's not even funny, right? So it's like there's pros and cons to it, yes, but I feel like I'm just worried because the game looks incredible so far. Like, the drive mechanic, the parries, the character depth, character tech, like, a lot of the game looks really good. But I'm just worried about modern being a problem, especially high level, because you take high level play, alright, and like, granted, MTX is not the most competitive game, but like, you'll see like a stylish, you'll see this, like this terrible, but you see the point though, like that was down back 4 into grab into AP. Not the most complex thing in the world, we know this, but like, imagine like seeing a pro tournament where modern controls are at play, and all the Predator had to do was mash that 4, and that can't, like, I don't know, it's interesting. I understand, like, we haven't played the game, we haven't really tested anything, but like, I'm worried about it because I don't want it to be a simple thing of everyone plays modern and it's smashing. Because then there's like, you don't see people who like. I mean, of course, it's not like everyone will be. I mean, there are people who love classic controls and they'll play it. Like, I'll probably use modern myself to learn the game, and then once I get comfortable playing classic, I want my full damage. Especially with Zangief and no having its stupid damage command grabs. Um, but yeah, like, I don't know, man. I don't know. What do you guys think on the situation for those of you who are fighting game, FGC kind of orientated? Because again, I understand the casual side of it. Of like, casuals aren't gonna learn one frame links. They're not gonna learn 360s. Like, they're not gonna learn the crazy stuff or like the harder things. But at the same time, like, I feel like it's going to result in kind of bland, high level, or bland gameplay because everybody just does the same thing of mash, 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 heavy, mash, light, mash, whatever. Like, I'm not saying that there's no depth to it. I mean, there still is some, and maybe because again, I can't like say too much on it because there isn't a whole lot of info out there, right? The only negatives we know to that control scheme is you lose some damage and lose some normals, but that's not such a big deal depending on the character, right? Like, I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me guys know what you guys think, and appreciate the feedback and talking about this because this is like the main thing that's making me worried for this game.